It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, you have found me on a Monday. We are starting a new week and we're starting it off right. Today is a Metal Monday and I am getting back to music from Motorhead today. This is a band that I am finally really starting to get to know. And we started a few years ago, actually, as we were celebrating Memorial Day back in 2023. On that occasion, we listened to 1916, which is kind of a ballad from this band. And it was written about the experiences of soldiers from World War I. So it was a very topical piece for us at that time. And then I didn't get back to them for some reason for quite some time. But back in May of this year, just a few months ago, I heard Overkill from Motorhead as part of our Metal May fan favorites video over on our Patreon. I have since shared that experience here on YouTube. And so I thought, before I get too far away from Motorhead, and they're still on my mind, I thought I should come back to this band with perhaps their best known song, the Ace of Spades. This is a song that has been on my active calendar for probably a year or more, and I keep pushing it because other things happen, and the calendar is always in flux. But I thought, it feels like the right time, and I want to go and listen to some Motorhead today. So I'm thankful that you are with me. It's the title track from the band's fourth studio album, which was released in late 1980, and this album was the band's most commercially successful album, and it was the first of their albums to be distributed in North America. I found that quite interesting. And the other thing that I found as I was reading here, we call this Metal Monday. I've even got my shirt, Metal Makes Mondays Better. I've got it on. And y'all might be saying, Doug, Motorhead is not a metal band. And I know. The guys in the band always contended that they were a rock and roll band and not a metal band. But their powerful, sort of thrashy style ended up causing them to be included in these discussions about the new wave of British heavy metal that was happening around that time with some of these bands. And they were definitely an influence, a musical influence on bands like Metallica and Megadeth, which would come a little bit later in the 80s and have great careers themselves. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay to include these guys on a Metal Monday. It's close enough, y'all. That's what I think. And I think anytime's a good time to listen to Motorhead. So let's get to it. We've got Ian Fraser Lemmy Kilmister on vocals and the bass, on the bass. Fast Eddie Clark is on the guitar, and Phil Filthy Animal Taylor is on the drums. Just a trio here, y'all, and I am eager to hear what this one sounds like. Of course, I think I've heard bits of it over the years, but I really don't know what the song's about, besides that it's about a card in a deck, right? And I don't really remember what it sounds like. All I have in my head is the Ace of Spades, and that's about it. And it's only like half a line from the song, so I need to be refamiliarized with this classic tune from this classic band. So here is Ace of Spades from Motorhead. Here we go. All right. Off they go. Cool. So they're tuned down. They're in E flat. There's the D flat, and there's the C flat. There it is. The Ace of Spades. That's cool. different riff. There's 7, 6, back to 1.
Double up or quit, double strike or split. The Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. You know I'm going to lose, and gambling's for fools. But that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever.
Love the breakdown.
And don't forget the Joker.
Don't forget the Joker, he says. Guitar solo over the 4 chord. And there's the 5. Dum, 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 dum. Back down to 4. And back to 1. No. That comes down through flat 5. That's cool.
Pushing up the ante, I know you got to see me. Read 'em and weep. The dead
Read 'em and
man's
weep.
hands again. I see it in your eyes. Take one look and die. The only thing you see.
The only thing you see
is
gonna be me.
The Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades.
Great kicking song. And it's going to be over. Way too soon. Oh, cool. I caught it. They repeated it twice. 1 to flat 7 to 1. You know, I went into this knowing it's a short song, but it really kicks, you know? Really fast, go-ahead rhythms. And I really like, I'm going to turn my keyboard on, even though I don't have my my secondary camera here turned on today. They were in that key. Ya-da-dum-bum-bum-bee-da-dum. The Ace of Spades that goes up the minor third, right? But I hear that going from the 5 to the flat 5 to the 4 to the 1. That little rhythm and motif coming down there connects them to some metal that I've heard in similar riffs going through that flat 5. How about that, y'all? You know, we've listened to several trios here over the years. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Rush, Cream, all these bands that just end up having these huge, the Police, these great sounds, and they're just the 3 of them. You know, the one time that I was in a band and playing, we ended up having a whole bunch of people, and sometimes I wish that we could have had just 3 people, fewer chefs in the kitchen, you know, and you can really make a space for yourself to play when there's just the 3 of you. Really, really a fun time, y'all. I'm glad that I finally got to that. It's too short. And I was thinking, do I do a live version or do I go back to the original? And I figured, you know, they've got the video for it. It shows them performing, so I get the best of both worlds, to watch the video and to hear what they actually put on the record. So there you go. I did find, y'all, as I finish up here, I found an interview in Rolling Stone magazine from 2015 that Lemmy gave. And here's what he said about this particular song. He said, "It's still very popular. When we do it on stage, everybody loves it. But when we wrote it, we were just doing an album. It's just another fucking song." I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't think it was that good. So I have no special memory of writing it. It's got a tap dancing part, you know, Phil's solo. And when he called it that, there was this big debate. Are we sure we're going to leave that in, or are we going to take it out? And then we ended up leaving it in, and I was surprised when the song took off. It's no better than any of all of our other songs. You know, sometimes that happens. You come up with these, with all your songs, and you think, oh, this is the one that I really love that people are going to get, and they end up loving a different one. You never know what's going to gravitate and move people, you know? He also goes on and he says, I did a bit of gambling back then, but I don't have any good gambling stories. I have lots of bad ones. I've lost a lot of money. I used to live on the seaside in Wales, and that's all there was. There was a gambling machine in the local cafe, and they also had a jukebox at the same time, so I was all set. I'm not a poker player. I play slot machines. I've been playing them since I was 18 years old, when you're getting into bars. I don't trust any form of gambling with people involved in it. I like the machines better. Well, I think the machines can be rigged too, Lemmy. But yeah, I get you. You don't want to be actively taken, right? Well, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, it's interesting that he says that, yeah, it's no better than any of our other songs. It's just one of our songs. But people love it and we still play it. And I think I also read that he kind of got tired of playing it over the years. And that, I guess that happens too, especially when you've got a really long career and a signature tune like this, especially among your fandom. You know, this interview was published in August of 2015, and sadly, Lemmy died later that year, 4 days after his 70th birthday on December 28th of 2015. He died from prostate cancer, and congestive heart failure. And yeah, a lot of these great musicians from this era are aging out, right? And it's a sad thing, but we still have the footage of them doing their thing, showing their power and their intensity and their musical, the way they express themselves. And it's just wonderful to go back and get a little bit of a history lesson, right? This was the time, 1980, like AC/DC's Back in Black, I think, was coming out. Early Iron Maiden. There was, I don't know what else around that time. I think Pink Floyd's The Wall was right about that time as well. And it was music in flux. You know, where's the next decade going to go? It ended up going in several different directions, and metal and hard rock was one of them, and they're definitely one of the leaders as I see it. So it's great to include them here, especially on a Metal Monday, as we continue on and take notice of all of these great hard rock and metal songs that I have yet to learn. And so now I have learned the Ace of Spades, and I very much am happy about it. And it won't be too long, I hope, until we get back to Motorhead. But that's going to be all for me today, my friends. I thank you very much for being with me, and we will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.